ويان أجنبي يكون الدفاع كر حقيقة هذا استدفاع كر الدون كان أن قعد زنو إن رجوه إلى مدى الشيء أم درس النقدان أمام أفريقيا كلام سيستم وإنه جرى كان الدم بينه وإنه جرى مدحوين الدعادة يدول الدعادة وإنه جرى برلمان كانوا إنه الدعادة كانوا حلي لها وكان صوبا وأمنية حسيلية ورتهوى إنها نبتقلي هدي جرته برواق الوقت.
Mohamed Osman Qaadi is a formerly distinguished Somali military professor and general. After graduating from Saidia High School in Cairo, Egypt, in 1963, General Mohamed Osman Qaadi, where he attended Egypt Military Academy, where, in 1966, he received a specialization from the Egyptian Air Defense College in Alexandria.
Upon his return from Egypt, General Qaadi held various levels, from battery to battalion commander of the Somali Air Defense Forces. In 1976, General Mohamed Osman Qaadi also completed special staff study from the Russian High Engineering Air Defense Academy in Odessa.
At the beginning of the Ogaden War, when Mohamed Osman Qaadi came back from Russia, he was promoted to colonel and appointed to lead the SAM-2 Surface-to-Air Missile Brigade of the Somali Military Air Defense Force. As a part of Somalia's ground forces, they were intended to protect the Somali airspace from air attacks of the Ethiopian and Cuban warplanes. General Qaadi's Air Defense Brigade was assigned to fulfill the combat duty of air defense, reconnaissance of Ethiopian and Cuban aircraft, destruction of Ethiopian and Cuban air attacks during their flight. Somali air defense units strongly repulsed the Cuban and Ethiopian air raids.
From 1978 to 1979, Mohamed Osman Qaadi served as the Chief of Staff of the Somali Military Air Defense Force. Colonel Qaadi succeeded Colonel Mohamed Sheikh Osman Iro, who was among the military officials that were executed by the government on suspicion of involvement in the abortive 1978 coup attempt. Mohamed Osman Qaadi didn't know the coup plot. Instead, as the witnesses stated, he was detained by Colonel Iro on the night of the coup.
تاريخي جوتدا إسلام هذا قادي أول ما دخل كأهان شيء جوتدا عيال الحيرة أنت عن هردنا أنو معناها وحى مقطع أنت عن نو سبب ده كل شيء من هرددا أيا أدو يقرب الصوغ شيء رد أدو لجبقة هي مركز عيال الحيرة والله قاوته تاريخ جوتدا كميدها.
1980 to 1982, General Mohamed Osman Qaadi served as a dean of the Somali Military Academy in Mogadishu. And then, in 1983, became the director of the Officers Directorate of the Somali Ministry of Defense.
In 1985, General Mohamed Osman Qaadi graduated from High Strategic Studies in Defense at Nasser Military Academy in Egypt.
After graduation from Nasser Academy, General Qaadi became the professor and assistant commandant of the training department at the High Military Strategic Academy in Somalia.
In this capacity, General Qaadi was one of the few senior officers who helped put together the National Academy for Strategy and had a hand in creating strategic training syllables for senior military personnel.
1978, General Mohamed Osman Qaadi served as the Somali military attached to Saudi Arabia. In that capacity, General Qaadi also served as the principal military diplomat link between Somalia and the Gulf countries. His strategic insight soon crossed borders, navigating the complex tides of international relations during the war and fragile peace.
In 1991, when the Somali government collapsed, General Qaadi was still in Saudi Arabia. He declined various offers to join opposition groups and remained politically neutral.
In June 2009, General Qaadi was one of the former Somali senior officials invited by the United Nations Political Office for Somalia in Washington, D.C.
General Qaadi advocated for a robust Somali military. He engaged the former officers of the Somali security forces in the United States. General Qaadi visited San Diego, California, where he met with a group of former Somali military officers living in California. He shared with them the outcome of the former Somali senior officers' advice to the UN in Washington. General Qaadi and his California colleagues discussed and shared their military experiences and how to help the current Somali leadership build strong security forces.
The 75 years old General Qaadi now lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He regularly speaks at conferences and community gatherings on the power of building and leveraging community voices to achieve equitable outcomes and civic inclusion for the Somali families. General Qaadi is a living former Somali military legend and hero.